Today on the channel, we got an unboxing that's very nice, but very evil with the AEW Jazzwares ringside exclusive, Danhausen.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Jazzwares Ringside Collectibles exclusive. And in today's ones, we got a very nice one. We got a very evil one. We got the first ever AEW Jazzwares Danhausen figure. But for all your Danhausen needs, including this Ringside Collectible exclusive, head on over to Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And this is going to be one of the most popular, if not the most popular, Jazzwares figures of all time, as Danhausen has swept the nation. Danhausen mania the last couple of years. Good friend of the channel, Danhausen. I don't know about that. Maybe just meet and greet at a wrestling show. Friend of the channel. Who knows? Who knows? But Danhausen not messing around in the action figure game, or I should say Jazzwares not messing around in the action figure game. As we do have a regular figure, a chase figure, a 2-pack with Hook, and of course this figure, all coming out in the next couple of months. It's going to be Danhausen Overload. So everybody's going to have a chance to get down Danhausen, but a lot of different versions. But for my money right now, I'm really leaning at this one being my favorite one because of the special packaging, and of course it being his first figure, and it being a Ringside Collectible exclusive. There's a lot of hits being played along with this one here. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's see what old Danhausen is up to here. And the packaging on this, absolutely next level. I absolutely love the packaging. I love everything about this. And the Jazzwares team and the AEW lines, they get a lot of bad raps, and some justified, some not so justified. It is a business at the end of the day. We got to remember that. And sometimes business is going good. Sometimes business isn't going so great. And it's a little bit of a mixed bag, I think, with some of the Jazzwares lines out there. At least as far as collectors, of course, the vocal majority, or I should say the vocal minority of collectors, of course. But Jazzwares ever do a phenomenal job in their packaging department. So many great exclusives we've had, specifically at Ringside Collectibles with the Blood and Guts figures, some of the other figures. They are top notch as far as packaging goes for a lot of these different exclusives and a lot of these different lines. Absolutely love what they do in the packaging department here. And some of the figures, you know, they have some challenges from time to time, but man, they do a great job on a lot of figures as well. And this Danhausen looks like it's going to be an all-star figure. Definitely going to be top 10 worthy when we do our top 10 list at the end of the year. So I can't wait to dive into that list in the future. But let's look at the package here. We got old Danhausen right there. It says, of course, very nice, very evil. And then what I love about this is, how about that? It's cape season. It's not just for Lando Calrissians anymore. You pull that cape open. How awesome is that? You got his hand out reaching. You got the inside of the cape, and then you show the Danhausen figure right there. Definitely cool. A lot of bells and whistles. Cape season running hard, running fast, running free. And we got that with Danhausen right there. We got extra heads, hands, all kinds of stuff in the package. We'll dive into that, of course, in a second. But love that flap there. I just love how that works. Very, very cool. Definitely cool. Big shot right there. Looking great. Looks like we're ready for Halloween is what it looks like to me. And then on the side, very nice, very evil, Danhausen. He's going to hypnotize you. Got the AEW logo at the top. Little picture of him down at the bottom. And then on the back, Danhausen or be cursed. A Ringside Collectible exclusive. How cool is this packaging? Definitely next level. Danhausen at the top. A little jibber jabber at the bottom. Just absolutely phenomenal packaging on this one. I am definitely going to pick up another one of these. I always buy one and then I wait and I always get another one down the line. That's what I'm going to do. And oh my gosh, the back of the packaging on this, just as cool. It's like got a little hologram there. It looks like it's turning inside there. So it's hypnotizing you from a distance. That is absolutely next level. Absolutely love that. Will that come out? I'm sure it will. I'm sure. Oh, yeah, that comes out. Oh, my gosh. How cool is this? That is very, very cool. It just kind of moves. I don't know if that comes on camera pretty good or not, but man, that is very cool. I did not know that was in there. Very awesome. This is about the most next level packaging we've had in wrestling for quite some time. We've had a lot of good packaged figures. This is pretty cool, I got to admit. Very, very cool right there. Very cool packaging right here as well. Definitely worth saving on to. But I'm here for the figures. You know me, I love a good action figure. And we got the double plastic prison going on. So we got a little bit going on right there. See you later. Off to the side. Man, oh man. This is a next level figure. I say that a lot. I really mean it. I always mean it, I guess I should say. But this is something special here. I've just felt the cape for a second. Of course, soft goods cape. You know I love that. But we got bendy wire in this cape as well. Playing a lot of hits with the Jazzwares team right here. I'm very excited for this figure. Look at that. There he is in the old plastic prison. We're going to pop out these extra hands and extra head. Man, there's so much choose your own adventure going on. I don't know what we're going to do. A lot of extra heads with Danhausen. We should see a lot of these heads in that 2-pack, the 2 solo card releases, things like that. So I think we'll be able to use all these heads eventually in one way or another in our collection. But boy, it's going to be some tough decisions right now when we only have one Danhausen figure. We're going to wire that cape through there. There it is. Skyhook off to the side. See you later. Goodbye. All right. Of course, this cape is going to be removable. Definitely here for that. Uh-oh. We got... He's ready to inseminate a cow if he needs to. We've got the plastic coverings over the arms here. Now, I can only imagine that is to stop staining, which that does worry me. I am not a fan of stained figures, as you guys know. Not a big fan of that at all. I don't know if any of us are, actually. But that will stop the staining, so I wonder if they think this cape is going to stain. Not exactly sure. I guess time will tell. We got a little bit of that plastic around the waist as well going on here. Can I get that out as well? Oh my gosh, get the whole torso. We're going to just dissect Danhausen. See you later. Goodbye, but we pop that back in. That is one cool thing I always do love about these Jazzwares figures is how everything can be removed and replaced and taken off. I always do think that is a very cool feature to these figures, making them very easily customizable, removable, things like that. So definitely, definitely cool. But let's dive in here. Let's start off with the accessories, as we usually do. Plastic, see you later. Goodbye once again. Let's start with these hands. So Danhausen's got the big open hands. He's going to present. He's going to do some stuff. He's got that going on. No fists for Danhausen. He is keeping it extra clean in the ring. No fists with him here, which is a little interesting. We do get a little pointer finger hands here, of course, you know, doing one of these kind of things. They even got a little attention to detail as they do got his ring on his finger there. So I like that attention to detail there. Looking good. So we got those two hands. And then we got 2 more splayed out hands as well. Not totally terribly different from the last one. I think with all these 3 different splayed out hands, would have been nice to have a set of fists, or at least a gripping set of hands maybe. We didn't get any of that with these. So that is a little bit of miss to me, but it's not the end of the world. I guess technically you could use hands from some of the other ones if you really had to. A lot of ways you can go with that. But now we're going to get down to the heads here. So we got Danhausen out of the package. A good one. You got the hair up in the front. You got the black and brown hair kind of where it meets. You got the black on the ears. Of course, the face paint going there. We all know that face paint by now. Very famous in the wrestling circles, as we do know. Definitely looking good. He's got his teeth showing, open mouth. I mean, all day long, you know this is Danhausen. There's no mistaking this for anybody else. The second Danhausen head, of course, same paint job, but he's got a little bit of that Elvis curl. All Elvis sweeping the nation. All these years later, he's got a little of that. Got a little of that going on in the old lip curl department. So a little bit madder, angry, perturbed Danhausen, we'll say. Definitely looking good right there. And then we go over to this third head here. What do we got? We got shocked Danhausen. This is where Danhausen is shocked. Mouth's open. He's given one of those kind of things. The eyes are up. Face paint's going to be the exact same. I think the hair is identical on these two, if I'm not mistaken. It looks to be the case. Black ears on both of these. So these heads, very similar, just a little different face, a little different facial expression. Definitely works, though. Really is choose your own headscape adventure on this one for old Danhausen. 3 different heads, 3 separate sets of hands. Really, you could almost buy 3 of these figures and mix them up and change. Have one with the cape on, one with the cape off. Do whatever you need to do right there. But speaking of cape, speaking of figure, let's dive in on this. I guess we'll start with the cape first. Very nice, very evil. It does say that on the back. Love the kind of pattern going on. A little black, a little blue, of course, logos, and the writing looks really, really nice. Feels good, has a nice feel to this cape. As I mentioned, a wire cape right here. You can add all kinds of extra detail. You can have it floating in the wind if you want to. That is really extra attention right here, is that wired cape. We don't even get that with a lot of our superheroes, Marvel Legends, things like that. There's no wired cape with. So this is absolutely next level at the end of the day. Beautiful, beautiful cape going on. Then the head sculpt we already talked about on this one. This is kind of probably the one I'm going to keep on here. I think this is the best representation for what this is. But I do like that we get our options there, as we usually do say. This cape is really cool. Of course, it wires around the back. It does Velcro in the front, so you can remove it if you want to. You can take it off like any entrance gear, anything you want to there. Love the big high collar on it like a young Dracula. And once again, you got wire in the top of the cape as well. Not just at the bottom, but the top as well. So you can hook that close to his head. You can put it down. You can do whatever you want with your cape. Choose your own cape adventure at the end of the day is what you can do. But definitely very, very cool. And I guess I'm going to remove this cape is what I'm going to do right now. Trying to figure out the best way to do that. I think it would be, let me see. Let me figure it out on the fly right here. There we go. Take the body out and it does lasso around. Oh, I guess it is Velcro there. So there is different ways to get that cape removed if you want to. But definitely, absolutely cool. I'm going to say it right now, the best cape we've ever had in an action figure that is wrestling related. Yes, wrestling related action figure cape. The best one we've ever seen right here with this Danhausen figure. Hopefully it does not stain. We'll have to pay attention to that one. That is for sure. But then let's talk through articulation first, and we'll describe the rest of the figure. Arms go all the way around. Of course, you get the bicep cut, double jointed elbows, hands back, forth, side to side, hands removable. Up top, you get the hula hoop and the traditional waist. Of course, plug and play. As you've seen me do in this video, you can remove everything if you need to. Splits right there. Of course, a thigh cut. Double jointed knees as well. A boot cut. A boot cut. Nope, no boot cut. Well, yeah, there is. I guess I was looking too high. Boot cut down here. He's got some Doc Martens on like a young Darby Allin, it looks like. And then you get ankles back, forth, side to side. I assume he'll fit on a ringside collectible AEW stand. What do you know? Fits like a glove on the old AEW stand there from Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save 10% as I do say. Now we're going to dive into these tattoos on old Danhausen here. And that's one thing Jazzwares does a heck of a job. They do a beautiful job with tattoos. They got a lot of colorful tattoos to deal with, of course, in the AEW roster. And Danhausen's no different. Tattoos throughout. You can look at them. You can see them, see what's going on. I am by no means an expert on his tattoos. Obviously, this one on the chest, very noticeable when he wrestles. We've seen that before. Looks really good. Looks like something Ozzy Osbourne would have almost. Very cool, very evil on there as well. And then you got all the tattoos, all the color throughout on the arms, the sleeves. Just looking really, really nice. Got the black wrist tape going on there as well. And then he's got his gray pants on. It does say very evil, very nice. Danhausen. You got Danhausen on the back of his butt. You got the red belt going on here with the teeth throughout. A little teeth accessory would be nice. I'm sure we'll see that probably in the Ring of Honor line, as we do know he has a Ring of Honor figure coming out as well, on top of all the ones I mentioned earlier. So be prepared for Danhausen overload. Got to make the most out of your molds. Got to make the most money while you can. As Danhausen, one of the guys, hasn't wrestled a ton in AEW, but is easily one of their top performers. And I always feel like Danhausen, we all know Svengoolie. If you watch this channel, you know my dad always wears Svengoolie shirts, loves some Svengoolie. I would love to see Danhausen, when Svengoolie decides it's time to hang it up, let's have Danhausen take Svengoolie's place. I think that would be great. It would be like Pee-wee's Playhouse meets horror. He could do videos. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I think Danhausen could do. I would love to see that happen one day. I think that would be very, very cool. It'd be very entertaining as well. Let's make that happen. Let's get a petition going. Let's do it. But definitely looking very good. This figure is just all around awesome. Possibly the AEW Jazzwares figure of the year. That's how good this is. The packaging is absolutely phenomenal. The figure is phenomenal. The extra heads and accessories are phenomenal. Could have used a fisted hand. When that's your only real gripe with the figure, that's a pretty good day at the office. The cape, absolutely next level. The greatest cape ever in wrestling action figure history. I'm calling it right here, saying it right here today. Just a next level figure. Going to be a very popular figure, and I have to imagine when the dust settles 2 years from now, 3 years from now, this is going to be a very hard to find piece and a very much requested piece by a lot of collectors wanting this one. So I would definitely get this while you can from Ringside Collectibles. I am sure they're going to get some more of these in with the holiday season coming up, things like that. but definitely a must-have figure. It's the first Danhausen figure from Jazzwares, and it does not disappoint. It gives us everything we wanted it to have, and then you've got this hypnotic background I was talking about, so you can even display him in front of that if you really want to. So a lot of things, a lot of choose-your-own-adventure with this one, there's no doubt about it. But this isn't the first Danhausen figure. Of course, he's had major bendies, but the only one I have is the Zombie Sailor one. We did get this one as well. It does have a cape. It does have a wired cape, but to me, not as cool of a cape as this one. This cape is absolutely the best cape I've ever seen in the wrestling figure headspace, no doubt about it. But absolutely fabulous figure. I have no regrets on this one. This is definitely worth picking up a second one to leave in the package for me. I will be doing that, no doubt about it. Just a great figure. So there it is, Danhausen Ringside Collectible exclusive. Be interested to hear your thoughts. I can't think of many complaints. I guess if you have any complaints outside of missing a fist, I don't know what they would be, but feel free to leave them in the comments down below, as I'm just over the moon with this figure at the end of the day. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some. And we got even more content, if you can believe it, over on the old Patreon channel. Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. You can also support the channel over there at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for very nice, very evil Danhausen Ringside Collectible exclusive, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.